Welcome to the Marketing Execution Podcast. This is the show for tech founders and leaders building B2B products and technologies. We show you how to go further, faster to get the business results you need.
From strategies to big except dreams, catch the buzz and join the execution. Marketing Convo.
Many founders, especially those from technical or product backgrounds, believe having a great product guarantees success. Yet consumers' perceptions drive sales. Yes, your product must be good, but even more than being the best is needed to win. First, our book today is The 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing by Al Ries and Jack Trout. The book is a must-read, and we'll examine how these principles can transform your marketing to GTM match and strategy. Then, be prepared to revisit marketing foundations and rediscover proven frameworks for achieving sustainable growth, starting with effectively positioning your product, crafting focused messages, and leveraging market dynamics. Finally, don't forget to subscribe to the Marketing Execution Podcast for weekly insights that empower tech founders and B2B executives to scale their businesses. Now let's join Tim and Lisa as they guide us through the 22 immutable laws of marketing.
All right, let's dive in. We're tackling the 22 immutable laws of marketing today.
Oh, a classic.
You know, I was excited about this one.
Yeah.
You sent over some really intriguing excerpts.
Right.
And I gotta say, just from those snippets, I'm already hooked.
Yeah.
Immutable laws, timeless marketing secrets. I am here for it.
I love this book.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to me how relevant it still is.
Right.
I mean, this was written well before the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Like completely revolutionized marketing, right?
Totally.
But even after all these years,
Yeah.
these laws, they still resonate. They really do.
It's true.
And I think that's because we're really talking about these deep-seated principles about how consumers think,
Right.
how markets behave, and those haven't really changed.
They haven't changed. No. Okay, so immutable laws, though.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of intense.
Uh-huh.
Like, break one of these, you're banished from the marketing world forever.
Right, right.
Are we talking, like, commandments here?
I wouldn't say commandments,
Okay.
but I would say fundamental truths.
Okay.
Observations about consumer behavior and market dynamics that have really been proven right
Yeah.
time and time again across industries, across decades.
Okay, so less commandments, more like, I don't know, marketing physics.
I like that.
Yeah, like gravity
Exactly.
for building brands.
Gee, you can't ignore these principles any more than you could ignore gravity.
Ooh.
You know, understanding these, it can be the difference between marketing brilliance
Okay.
and just a total faceplant.
All right, now you're talking. So give me an example. Hit me with one of these, like, laws of nature for marketing.
All right, let's start with law #1. Be first in your field.
Oh, okay.
This one's all about the power of first impressions.
Okay.
Being the first to market,
Right.
the first to plant your flag in a new category.
Yeah.
That gives you a huge advantage.
It's like they say, right, you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
Exactly.
But how does that actually, like, how does that play out in the real world?
Think about it this way. What pops into your head when I say tissues?
Kleenex.
Exactly.
Instantly.
Kleenex is a perfect example of law #3, own the word.
Okay.
They were the first to really define the need
Interesting.
for facial tissues.
Wow.
Before Kleenex, I mean, were people even really using facial tissues?
Right,
They
right.
weren't just selling a product. They were creating a whole new category,
Wow, that's huge.
and that made all the difference.
Yeah, so they shaped how we think about a whole product.
They did.
That's amazing. But okay, what if you're not first?
Yeah.
What about all of us who are, you know, not necessarily the trailblazers, right? Like,
Sure.
what does the book say about that?
Law. #2 to the rescue. If you can't be first, create a new category.
Okay.
So find your niche.
Okay.
If the existing market feels crowded, create your own space where you can be first.
It's like that blue ocean strategy
Absolutely.
that everybody talks about. Like,
Yeah.
instead of fighting over the same shrinking pie, bake a whole new one.
Exactly. It's about tapping into an unmet need,
Yeah.
an underserved market.
Mm.
Charles Schwab did this brilliantly
Okay.
with discount brokerage. They weren't the first in finance, not even close.
Right.
But they were the first to offer discount brokerage services to individual investors.
Smart.
They created a blue ocean in a sea of red.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So be first or create a new category where you can be first.
Right.
Got it.
Makes sense.
Makes total sense. But there's got to be more to it than that, right?
There's always more to it.
Right.
Even if you are first, you have to make sure people see you the right way.
Right. Law #4. Perception trumps fact.
Yes.
This one really got me because it's saying even if I have a product
Yeah.
that is on paper demonstrably superior,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if people don't perceive it that way.
It's frustrating.
Talk about frustrating.
It is, yeah.
So how does that, what's an example of that in the real world?
Look at Honda.
Okay.
They're killing it in the U.S. market,
Okay.
but they lag in Japan.
Wait, really? Why? They're a Japanese company.
They are, and that's the power of perception.
Wow.
In Japan, Honda's legacy
Yeah.
is as a motorcycle company,
Okay.
not a car company.
Interesting.
Right. It seems counterintuitive, but
Yeah.
that history with motorcycles actually works against them
Wow.
in their car sales,
That's wild.
in their own country.
So even a company like Honda that has that name recognition still has to battle against these ingrained perceptions.
You got it.
That's crazy. It's like they have to work twice as hard
Yeah.
just to overcome that initial hurdle.
Absolutely. And this is why understanding these laws
Yeah.
is so crucial, because it's not just about having a great product.
Right.
It's about crafting the right narrative,
Right.
shaping how people perceive you
Totally.
in the marketplace.
So important.
Yeah.
So getting into the consumer's mind first, that's key. But how do you stay there? How do you make sure people don't just remember you, but remember you for the right thing?
That's where laser focus comes in.
Uh-huh.
And that brings us to one of the most powerful laws in the book. Law #5. Pick one word to define your brand. You heard that right. One word. Your entire brand, everything you stand for, boiled down to a single potent word.
Wow, one word. That's intense. I'm getting anxiety just thinking about it. It does force clarity, though. You have to cut through all the noise and identify the absolute essence of your brand.
It's about finding your brand's North Star. What's that one word that captures the heart of your brand, the one thing you want people to instantly associate with you? And it can't be just any word. It has to be unique.
Right. Law #6. Don't use another brand's word. Trying to own a word that's already taken, especially by a major competitor, that's just asking for trouble.
Remember when Burger King tried to go head-to-head with McDonald's on the word fast? Not exactly a marketing triumph. You're just reminding people of the brand you're trying to beat.
Ouch. Yeah. Talk about scoring an own goal. It's like trying to challenge Coca-Cola by calling yourself Cola King. You're practically begging people to buy the original.
Exactly. It highlights the importance of understanding the competitive landscape. You have to know what words are already taken, what perceptions are already entrenched, and then find your own unique space.
Speaking of finding your space, there's another law in here, law #13, that talks about something called line extension. And this one feels counterintuitive. Don't we want to expand our brands? Isn't growth always the goal?
It seems logical. Offer more products, reach more customers, rake in more profits, right? But this law throws cold water on that idea. It argues that expanding your brand too much can actually dilute your message and confuse your customers.
So spreading yourself too thin, trying to be everything to everyone can actually backfire.
Exactly. It's like that old saying, a jack of all trades is a master of none. The book mentions Heinz baby food. Remember that?
Heinz baby food? Not really. I mean, I know Heinz ketchup, but...
And that's the point. Heinz is a powerhouse brand, but when they tried to leverage that brand recognition for baby food, it fell flat. Customers associate Heinz with ketchup, not pureed peas.
It makes you wonder, were they just hoping no one would notice?
Sometimes even the smartest companies fall into the trap of chasing short-term gains over long-term brand consistency.
Okay, so line extension is a no-go, and we're hyper-focused on our one powerful word. But how do we actually navigate a market where there are already established players, especially those big dogs at the top?
That's where law #8 comes in. Know your position on the ladder. Imagine a ladder where the top rung represents the market leader, the undisputed champion. Each rung down represents a decrease in market share and typically brand awareness. You need to be brutally honest about where you stand on that ladder.
Okay, so no pretending to be on the top rung when you're actually 3 steps down. Got it.
Honesty is key. Trying to position yourself higher on the ladder than you actually are will ring false with consumers. They know who the leaders are.
Give me an example. Show me how this ladder thing works in the real world.
Avis is a classic example. Remember their We Try Harder campaign.
Yeah, brilliant campaign. But how does that relate to the ladder?
They were the #2 car rental company. behind Hertz. Instead of trying to claim they were the biggest or the best, they owned their position on the ladder. We try harder is a brilliant way of saying, hey, we know we're not number one, but that's precisely why we'll work harder for your business.
It's so clever. They turned their underdog status into a strength. Okay, I'm starting to see how this ladder analogy works.
And here's where it gets even more interesting. Law, #9. Every market becomes a two-horse race.
Wait, so no matter how many brands are in a market initially, it always boils down to a head-to-head battle between two dominant players, like Coke versus Pepsi or Nike versus Adidas.
Exactly. Those rivalries, they capture the majority of the market share, leaving everyone else fighting for scraps.
So if you're not in that top two, you're toast.
Not necessarily. There are ways to thrive, even if you're not at the very top. That's where law #10 comes in. If you can't be the leader, be the opposite.
Ooh, I like this one. So if you can't be Coke, be Pepsi. If you can't be McDonald's, be the healthy, fast casual alternative. Find your niche, your angle.
Exactly. It's about understanding the leader's strengths and then positioning yourself as the alternative, the challenger, the disruptor.
I'm sensing a theme here. It's all about being strategic, knowing your strengths, knowing your weaknesses, and finding that sweet spot in the market where you can truly shine.
And don't be afraid to embrace those weaknesses. In fact, law #15 says to turn your negatives into positives.
I love that, like that old saying, if life gives you lemons, make lemonade. But how does that work in marketing? Give me a good example.
Think of Listerine. Their mouthwash has a famously strong, almost medicinal taste. Instead of shying away from that, they owned it. The taste you hate twice a day became their tagline.
That is brilliant. They took something that could have been a liability, a reason for people to choose a different brand, and they turned it into a badge of honor. It tastes bad because it works. I love it.
It's a bold strategy, but when executed well, it can be incredibly effective. It shows confidence, a sense of humor, and it creates a memorable brand identity.
We've covered so much ground here. Being first, owning your position on the ladder, turning negatives into positives. This is like marketing judo.
And there's more to come.
Yeah.
We still have to unpack the laws about embracing failure, navigating unpredictability, and the always important role of funding in building a successful brand.
Whoa, there's more. I'm ready. Hit me with the next round of marketing wisdom. This is like blowing my mind, honestly.
Yeah.
It's almost comforting in a way.
Really?
Yeah, like in this crazy,
Right.
unpredictable world of marketing, there are these like underlying laws,
Right.
these principles that like we can actually rely on.
It is reassuring
Yeah.
to find patterns, to find principles,
Yes,
especially in a field that often feels chaotic, right?
totally.
But that doesn't mean that things don't change.
Right.
In fact, law, #17,
Okay.
plan for unpredictability,
Okay.
reminds us that change is inevitable.
It is.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, especially in the age of the internet,
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
trends emerge and vanish overnight. It's
Yeah.
like, trying to hold on to water.
Right.
The harder you grip it, the faster it slips away.
Which is why law, #17, emphasizes building a flexible, adaptable company culture.
Okay.
Because you can't predict the future,
Right.
but you can build a team,
Right.
a strategy, a mindset
Yeah.
that's ready to roll with the punches.
Be ready to pivot.
Yes.
Be ready to adapt.
Absolutely.
Don't be afraid to like change course when the market throws a curveball.
Exactly. And that ties into another important law
Okay.
we haven't touched on yet, which is law, #19. Embrace failure.
Ooh, okay.
Now nobody wants to fail,
Right.
but in the world of marketing,
Yeah.
failure is often a byproduct of innovation,
Right.
of trying new things,
Right.
of pushing boundaries.
It's like they say, the only way to avoid mistakes is to never do anything.
Exactly. If you're not willing to risk failure,
Right.
you're basically saying you're not willing to grow.
Right.
And in a dynamic market,
Yeah.
standing still can be just as dangerous as making a wrong move.
Totally. So embrace that possibility of failure.
Yes.
Learn from it.
Yes.
Come back stronger.
100%.
It's all part of the process.
It is all part of the process.
Yes.
Speaking of things that can derail a marketing campaign,
Okay.
let's talk about law. #20.
Mm.
Don't believe the hype.
Ooh, this is a good one.
It is a good one.
Because it's so easy to get caught up
Oh, it is.
in the buzz, chasing the latest trends,
Absolutely.
viral sensations.
It's tempting, but hype is often fleeting.
Yeah.
It rarely translates into long-term success.
Right.
This law reminds us to stay focused on the fundamentals.
Okay, yeah.
Building a strong brand,
Right.
understanding our target audience, and delivering value over the long haul.
Right, not just the like flash in the pan kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like those one-hit wonders in the music industry.
Oh, yeah.
They have their moment in the spotlight, they vanish
Right.
because they haven't built a solid foundation.
It's about building that foundation.
Yes.
It's about, really understanding
It is.
what you're about and who you're talking to.
Absolutely.
This has been incredible.
Locked in fine.
So many good insights. We covered so much ground. Being first,
Yeah.
owning your position on that ladder,
Right.
turning negatives into positives,
Love it.
embracing failure, tuning out the hype.
So important.
It's like you've given us this like secret playbook for marketing success.
I like to think so.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, take this, go forth.
Take it. Make it your own.
Right. And just like dominate.
Absolutely.
I love it.
It's not about just memorizing the plays, though, right?
Right.
It's about understanding those underlying strategies
Right.
and then adapting them
Yes.
to your own unique situation.
100%. You've given us so much to think about.
Well, that's always the goal.
And I know I'm going to be revisiting these laws.
Yeah.
Like every time I have a new marketing challenge,
I hope so.
I'm going to come back to these.
Good.
So one final thought for you, our listener. As you navigate your own marketing journey,
Yes.
think back to law #14,
Okay.
sacrifice.
Right.
Are you spreading yourself too thin?
Ooh, good question.
Are you trying to be all things to all people?
Yeah.
Or are you really laser focused on things that truly matter?
Yeah.
The things that are actually going to like move the needle for your brand?
Love that.
Until next time, happy marketing.
Happy Mark.
The Marketing Execution Podcast is produced by Growth Stage Marketing. We are on a mission to see your company reach wild success using marketing pods.
Too big accept dreams. Catch the buzz and join the execution. Marketing convo.
Thank you for listening and being a part of the marketing execution movement and community. To learn how growth stage marketing clients reach more buyers and drive business impact, go to growthstage.marketing. That's growthstage.marketing.